Is this thing on? Cool. So, my name is Daniel Eltzroth, and we recently had the opportunity to record my really close friend John Scott for our multi-track recording class. So on February 8th, 2013, we took a bunch of cameras and we decided to kind of document the experience that we had with him in the studio. And after seeing him work, everybody was really excited and wanted to pursue him more as a musician and really figure out what his relationship with music is. So, this is his story.
I started playing, I guess, essentially you could say it was because of James, my brother. He did it, and then I just kind of wanted to do everything that, he did, because,
He's your older brother.
Yeah, I mean, however much stuff that we'll go through because we're brothers, I would say that, he is my hero in that sense, and that's why.
Keep on smiling what you go through. One stop, the rhythm that divides you. And I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like the chorus to the verse.
My brother was 16, I was 10, and he was in a band, and I wasn't really interested. I was more interested in playing my PlayStation or whatever, I was just all about games and the internet because I loved the internet at the time. So I was just this kind of chubby kid, and he was playing music, and I never thought about it. It's just what he did, and I did my own thing. And then he left for college, and I kind of had a guitar with me. Like, he gave it to me for Easter when I was like 11, and it was just this crappy electric guitar. It was a Samick, and I started to pick it up and I started to mess around with it, and I just played what I thought sounded cool. And after that, like, it just kept going. And one time I called up my cousin Bob, and I was like, hey man, can you teach me how to read tabs? So he taught me how to read tabs. It was Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana. That's the song. That was my first song that I ever learned. And that's when I started playing. And I would go away from it a little bit, come back to it, go away from it, come back to it. And that last time that I came back to it, I just started playing. I had an acoustic by then. Started playing that, and ever since, I just wanted to write music. My brother was in a Christian band, so I wanted to have a Christian band. And, then eventually my classmates or whatever, I was in high school by then, they wanted to not have a Christian band, so I was definitely in for that.
Are you that kind of girl, that short and sweet, or do you want the world laid at your feet? Are you curvy, dark complected, hit me when I don't expect it, just for fun?
And then one day, like, somebody asked me to play something, so I played it, and they were like, can you sing it? And I was like, yeah, I can try, and I sang it, and they were like, dude, like, we love your voice, like, that's awesome. And some guys were like, oh man, this guy's singing. I like his guitar playing, but I just don't understand why he has to sing. Like that guy. And I was like, all right, well, tough luck.
Just go back home. Just go back home. Just go.
In high school, I moved out when I was 18 because I didn't like being home. And then from there, I never could go back, so that's the backstory of it. I was playing music, and I was jamming out, and I was doing my own thing, playing games. That's what I like to do. And then my brother was in a band for a little bit, and he left. And there was a band called State Your Cause that was getting kind of bigger in the Columbus scene. And he saw that they were on hiatus. So he got in with them, they started playing, and then I eventually wrote a lot of different parts, and I auditioned with those, and I was like, okay, well, here's some different stuff. And I was the biggest State Your Cause fan there was because it was my brother's band.
Yeah.
So eventually I auditioned and got in. Once I got in, I left. I went to Columbus. I moved in with, actually, I didn't move in with anybody. I stayed in the drummer's basement, Matt. I stayed in Matt's basement for a little bit. James did too, but James left and got his own place back here in the hometown, Hillsboro. So I was staying there for a little bit, and then this one drunken night, me and the bass player got stupid, and we were all trying to go to a concert, and since that point we were kind of banned from Matt's house, and we couldn't go back. So that got rid of our practice spot. Well, Danny had, he had his home to go to. I didn't have a home to go to. I had a car to go to. So it was like 2 months solid. I was living in my car, and I was working at a place called Panera Bread. Of course, Panera Bread.
Love me some Panera.
I was living in my car, sleeping in the parking lot of Panera, and it was like 2 straight months that I was working and then going to sleep in my car, waking up, working, going to sleep in my car. Like, I'm surprised I didn't get sick of it as far as I did, but I guess it was practicing that kept me going through. But eventually, after the 2 months, I showed up at Danny's house, which was the bassist at the time, and I was like, dude, let me crash on your couch tonight. He was like, cool. And then since then, like, his family loved me. His family's awesome. Like, they're all real good people. They let me stay on their couch for like a couple months, and it was great. I loved it there. I loved them. It was awesome. But I had to sell my car because the transmission had went out on it, and I had to go home because of certain situations that were going on. So at that point, I had nowhere to go, so I went to my friend Derek Wilkinson's house. And I lived there, like, in his room with him. I had my little cot that I bought with the money that I sold my car for. $90 of it went to this portable bed that I had, which I still have. You don't give up something like that in the kind of lifestyle that I live in. But, like, I lived in his room for a while, and I was struggling. I was working at Domino's at the time, Domino's in Hillsboro. Mm-hmm. And I was living there, and I was just bumming off them, just places to live. And I literally couch surfed for, 6 months. I would offer people like, hey, you want to get drunk tonight? You want to drink tonight? Like, and then I would go over there and I would drink, and that meant that I had a bed to sleep on. You know what I mean? I had a couch at least. After his place, like, I was getting pretty depressed, and after his place, my brother was getting a condo, so I lived there for a little bit, and then they switched over to the place that is now the actual studio. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was like, well, I don't have anywhere to go, so I started living with my friend Steve. I was couch surfing again, right into his couch.
Just come back home. Whoa. Just let me go.
I hope I'm never as poor as I have been in the past 5 years. Living like through weeks of, scrounging change and doing all that stuff, like, I don't regret anything. You know what I mean? I don't regret it at all. Like, it's definitely carved me into the person that I am today, that you don't take anything for granted. But there have been some hardships for sure.
So this is a can of generic beef ravioli, and this is how we used to eat when we were on tour. We just eat straight out of the can. And something interesting about this can is it says non-profit serving hungry people. It comes from the Department of Redundancy Department. And that's all.
So after talking about all your hardships that you've had, do you have any words of wisdom to younger musicians?
Yeah. We've gotten a lot of advice in the past. Really, all I can say about it is it takes 3 things. Persistence, good songs, and then professionally doing it. Professional recordings, the whole works. If you get a professional recording out there and people hear it, somebody important is going to pick up on it. Build your product. That's pretty much what it's all about. Go out, play shows, get good pictures. Don't do anything half-assed. That's really all I got to say is just, be persistent about it and do it right.
All right, we're rolling. All right.
South to the land of the pine, I'm thumbing my way down to North Carolina, staring down the road and pray to God I see headlights. Made it to the coast about 17 hours, I'm picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping to Riley I can see my baby tonight. So rock me mama like a wagon wheel, rock me mama any way you feel. Hey mama, rock me. Rock me mama like the winds in the rain, rock me mama like a southbound train. Hey mama, rock me. Fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick the banjo now. Oh, well, North Country winters keep on getting me low. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to up and leave. But I ain't a turning back to living that old life no more. So rock me mama like a wagon wheel, rock me mama any way you feel. Hey mama, rock me. Rock me mama like the winds in the rain, rock me mama like a southbound train. Hey mama, rock me. South, out of Roanoke, caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long toke. But he's heading west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, fuck Tennessee. And I gotta get a move on before the sun. Hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. But if I die in Riley, at least I will die free. So rock me mama like a wagon wheel, rock me mama any way you feel. Hey mama, rock me. Rock me mama